Welcome to If These Ovaries Could Talk. I'm Jamie.
I'm Robin.
And we're your hosts.
We sure are.
Love is love, and you don't have to make a family by taking a traditional route. If these ovaries could talk, you would say.
How do I get the sperm through customs?
I am a lesbian.
So gay.
So gay. We need to tell our stories.
It's not your nuclear family anymore. It's not just your mom and dad thing.
We're not ruining these little humans.
Not for the gay reason, just because we stay. This episode is brought to you by Modern Fertility. Thank you for making our show a possibility.
Thank you so much. I just have to say that everybody knows that I love saying that first thing, the ad thing, and we take turns, but I just told Robin she can do this last, even though it was my turn.
And I was like, I don't actually want to do it. She's like, no, do it.
Do it.
I got a joke.
Do it. I want you to do it. I want you to do it.
No, I'm waiting for the joke. What's the joke?
That's the joke that I
That was
gave
the
it
whole
to
joke.
you. I didn't, it's not like a joke. I just want to let everybody know, like, that's how much I love you. I let you do the ad intro.
Hilarious. Oh, that's hilarious. I was like, wait, what's the joke?
That's the
what's it coming?
joke. It's a symbolic gesture is what it is.
Oh, well, I receive your symbolic gesture in the tone in which it was meant, and I say thank you.
You're welcome. Just trying to give you a little love because this is a really bittersweet
This is
episode.
it. This is our last intro, our last episode. I mean, we've said it all. I'm going to miss everybody. I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss this, the work that we've done. I mean, I'm thrilled. I'm just thrilled. And I've said this before, that you're continuing the mission on. I think it's so important. I'm just going to miss everybody. It's been great.
Yeah. Well, this is not goodbye. I mean, it's not like you're
No, I'm not dying.
You're not. I mean, you're still
One more
around.
time. I'm at Real Rob Hops.
Okay.
Don't leave me.
I don't think they'll
I have
leave you.
abandonment issues.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna leave you, and I hope they don't leave me either. I hope you guys stick around. But also,
We sound so desperate. We're so desperate.
we love
We're
you
like,
guys.
This is like a new spin on our old desperation of like, hey, could you rate and review us? Could you follow us? Could you
God.
so now we've turned it into don't leave us. Like we've
Well-
really taken this desperation train to new heights.
Don't leave us.
I'm proud of us.
We're carrying on. Robin is not leaving. This is not goodbye. She might be back here and there. Who knows? Who knows?
Who can say?
You don't know
Who
what's
can
in
say?
store. And what else we don't know is what feedback you've given us, because once again, we are batch recording, and I haven't heard your feedback yet, but I'm sure it's really wonderful.
I stand by. I don't think anybody expects you to have implemented anything in 2 weeks. So
No.
I think people expect new stuff.
I think they expect an acknowledgement of the emails they sent, and don't worry, you'll get that acknowledgement. Check out the social Ovaries Talk.
Whoa.
Check it out.
That got really weird.
That was like a waitress in a diner. Remember? Eat My Grits. What was her name? Remember that show?
Kiss
Alice.
my grits.
Kiss My Grits.
Flo from Alice.
From Alice. Yeah, remember that show?
I was trying to sing the song of that, but then in my head came a different one. Making my way in the world.
World
Okay, that's
today
totally
takes
different. That's a
everything you've
different.
got. That's Cheers.
I know. I went there instead of Alice.
We really just aged ourselves too, and all of the millennials who listen are like,
They're all like,
what
what the
are they
fuck is
talking
happening?"
about? These are TV shows from the 70s and 80s, folks.
that we were watching when our parents were not home.
Because we were
and
latchkey
taking care of
kids,
ourselves.
and we were always alone, eating
That's why we're so desperate.
chips, watching
Full
TV,
circle. Full circle.
getting ourselves home alone
Oh God.
in
yeah.
elementary school. And this one time, I was so tiny. I think I was in like 5th grade, but I was so tiny. I looked like I was in 3rd grade. I might have told this story. And
Yeah.
And it had gotten dark, and this old lady was like, why are you waiting for the bus? You should not be alone. And she sat next to me on the bus and scared the shit out of me so bad. And she was like,
You were like, you're actually scaring me.
She was like, when you get off this bus, I'm going to watch you. I want you to run. I want you to run as fast as your little legs can carry you all the way home. Don't walk. Don't go slow. I don't want you to look around. Like, she scared the shit out of me. And when my feet hit the pavement, I ran my little ass home.
Well, at that point, you were probably running from her. She sounds so creepy.
She was like so worried. Anyway, we really got off on a tangent.
Listen.
Really?
All right.
Okay.
We love you. We're going to miss you. I'm going to miss you. All right. Now you need to come help Jamie financially support this by joining our Patreon community.
Please do so. Please. Yeah, you're gonna
You get cool stuff.
yeah, you get bonus content, and you're doing a good thing. And at the gestational carrier level, you're going to get video interviews of most of the episodes, and those are dropped a day early. So you get to be in the know even before the rest of the
And
world.
they're ad-free. They're ad-free, too.
And they're ad-free, and they're unedited. So you hear even more. There's bloopers in there. Like,
There's
it's
more
always
mistakes from Jamie and I that our lovely team from Edit Audio and Steph cut out, and Maria.
Our editors are really amazing.
They're so good. Okay, well, if you want to join Patreon, head over to patreon.com/ovariestalk and you can join there.
Okay. All right.
Woo!
Yeah. All right.
Woo!
So today's guests, you've
Oh.
heard them before. We love
Like,
these
if this
two.
has to be my last episode, I'm so glad it was Angela and Jess.
Yeah, from season 5, episode 16, and it was titled Help Syndrome. That's HELLP, because she had an interesting pregnancy and delivery.
For sure.
Really wonderful episode, a very heavy topic,
Yeah.
but
But it was still funny because they're hilarious.
yeah,
If
they
you haven't
kept
listened
it
to
light.
it, go back to that one and listen to it now and then jump back in.
Yeah, totally. It's like old home week around here.
Yeah.
I
I mean, they're back for a Where Are They Now episode. I mean, and they are talking about the baby that they had, an autism diagnosis, fighting the healthcare system, and trying for number 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a second episode, and it was just like we still could have gone for 2 hours.
we really could have. And they're just so fun to talk to. So we are super excited to share this episode with you. We love these two. And you're going to love it. And I mean, I think Helen is going to roll that tape. She's
And
really going to do
This
it.
is my final roll the tape, Helen. Are you ready?
Oh my God.
Roll the tape, Helen!
Oh my God. Why you guys?
I don't know. It just was so fun to do it so mean because she's fake.
Oh my God. Helen is not real.
I think my cat just fell off the bed. That's
think your whole family's going to come running in that room right now. What happened? What happened?
What'd you do to Helen?
Oh my God. She really doesn't exist, guys. I just joined Patreon to help me out. Okay. All right. Let's roll the tape. Let's do this.
Welcome back, Angela and Jess.
Angela and Jess, two of our favorite people, are back with us.
Oh my gosh, we feel so special.
Well, we feel special that you guys agreed to come back on, to be quite honest.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I know we were like, wait, we've done a Where Are They Now on the live stream, but we never done one in the podcast. And Angela had just emailed me saying, like, oh, do you want a voice memo? I've got some updates. And then we were like, oh, hell no, just come back on. We need you two back in our lives.
Let's talk. Let's chat because you guys are so fun to chat with.
Yeah. Got a lot to update about. Yeah.
Let's do your elevator pitch, Angela and Jess. On your mark, get set, go.
We're Angela and Jess. We were previously on the show to talk about Jess's experience having our first child, Jonah, and developing HELLP syndrome. It was crazy. But we survived and we got through the trauma and we decided we wanted to try for a second baby. And we're about 2 months worth into the IUI process. And so we had so many updates, we figured we had to come back for a Where Are They Now?
That was beautifully
Oh
done.
my God, you did it.
I don't
right
even
in
think you
30
had practiced that.
seconds.
That was
It
amazing.
was only 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh man, that is
It really is.
stressful.
You
so
did-
stressed out. I'm
You
sweating.
didn't even do it, Jess.
No.
She's stressed for me. That's anxiety.
Today has already been stressful enough. Like,
Robin said, "On your mark, get set, go," and Jess just pointed to Angela. That was your involvement in that one.
Perform well under pressure.
You do. Good job.
So your initial episode was titled HELLP Syndrome. And it's, I think it was like
Yes.
season 4 or 5. Yeah,
Season
5,
five.
right?
5.
Yeah. Go back and
Yeah.
listen to that before you listen to
Go
this
back
one.
and
Definitely.
can you give
We
just
do.
can you give an overview of what exactly HELLP syndrome is for our listeners who maybe didn't listen to that episode?
HELLP syndrome is a very severe form of preeclampsia. And I might even be getting it wrong. As far as there's eclampsia, preeclampsia, and you can even get postpartum preeclampsia as well. But HELLP syndrome is a very serious form of preeclampsia that is not just high blood pressure. There are other severe symptoms that show.
Yeah.
So
Like issues with your liver, potential seizures, like your organs can start shutting down if it's
Yeah.
not caught. And the only cure for it is to give birth.
delivery. There's no magic pill.
Which you
no
did.
nothing.
And that
Oh my
baby
God,
is
yeah.
sleeping right now, which we're thrilled about.
He's
Yeah.
going to be ignored until we're done.
Stay,
Damn
stay
right.
there.
You
better
stay in
stay
there.
there.
You sit. That door is shut. You stay in there.
And how old is he now?
He is 2.5.
Oh.
Yeah, he'll be 3
three
on
in
July
July,
10th, which
yeah.
is my birthday. Because remember, he was
Oh,
born on my
that's
birthday.
right.
On the same
That's-
day. I don't
Yeah.
have to get her a gift ever again.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
Well,
Did you ever watch the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel episode where she found out that her parents were moving
Her
the
birthday.
birthdays around for convenience for them? And I was like,
Yes.
that is not a bad idea.
Brilliant. But they were like, But the way they were talking about it was so funny because she was like, "What? You did what? Yeah, of course we did. Yeah,
Yes.
of course. Why wouldn't we?"
I love that
Yeah,
mother.
his birthday's in November. What are you doing at the carnival?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how long was it after the birth that you were like, I think we're going to have another baby? Because that's where we're at, right?
Well, today I don't want to have another baby because he's not napping. So
It goes in waves.
it
It ebbs
goes
and flows.
ebbs and flows and out of like, okay, yeah. Oh, are you sure you want to do this?
It was really, I think, about the 1.5, 2-year
Mhm.
mark that Jess was like, I got baby fever and I want you to have it.
Yeah, our neighbor had a kid. You know, everybody's pregnant on our street right now. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
freaking women are all over there,
All
just
those
all
heteros
knocked
just
up.
keep
And
popping
I know these
around.
breeders are everywhere.
We love them too. Just, you know.
They just have no clue how
Yeah,
hard it
they
is.
don't. They don't.
So
you know.
we keep having to educate them.
So it's like my neighbor Abby, who just, had sex with her husband, and then it like, she got pregnant the first try. And then she was like, wait a second, you have a 2-week wait? What does that mean?
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
yeah, we gotta like wait 2 weeks to find out.
we know exactly.
Yeah, we
when
know
that
when it
sperm
happened.
was entered.
Yeah.
We just
Yes.
Now we have to wait, and we're not supposed to test during that time because it could be
Right,
false
right.
negatives, false positives.
Wait, but I think
very
we've, I
stressful
think
time.
we've glossed over the fact that you're like, I've got baby fever, but you should carry it.
Yeah, that happened
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I wanted to circle back to
Let's
that.
circle
Hey,
back.
she got off on the first round. Why don't I get
Yeah,
off on the
fair
second
enough,
round?
fair
You know
enough.
what I mean? We got
Easy.
2 wombs.
Yeah.
Let's just
And I got big baby barren
Listen,
hips.
atta
So
yeah.
thinking it
And
was time to
she's
put those
lucky
to work.
too because she has a high pain tolerance. We've been
do.
through like the HSG tests and all these imaging tests, and I'm like, just let's get fucking to it. Let's just do it already. And like, she's like, okay, this is gonna hurt a little bit. I was like, you can hurt this woman. She will not
I was
flinch.
like, stop trying to make me experience
That's-
pain.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like my wife saying,
They're like with the wand,
yeah.
like
Over to the right. It's like they're scrubbing things. They're like, "Mer, mer, mer."
And I remember how it was for me. I know it really hurt for me. I mean, I had to be drugged for these
Oh.
things,
Yeah.
and this one over here is taking it like a chance.
she
so
is.
wow. So was that really just the reasoning for why you're moving hoppers, as Robin likes to say?
It's true.
You're
I do.
switching
I do
hoppers?
like to say that.
Is it just because
well, the HELP syndrome.
It's your turn, but is
I mean,
yeah,
HELP syndrome was
a big part
traumatic.
of it. Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
And I feel like I talked to her too. She's older than me, but I feel like, I'm like, you are on this earth. You have to experience this at least once.
Mm.
Like if you want to,
Yeah.
not everybody has that feeling, but I'm like, it's just an incredible feeling to feel something kick inside of you and, have this bump, totally miss the bump, and as much as my pregnancy and delivery were awful, 100% I tell people all the time, I would do it all over
Mhm.
again because kids are just, and Jonah is amazing. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
we just love having kids and raising good humans
Mhm.
like for this world because we
Mhm,
need that.
We sure do. We sure
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but an update from the last time we met was that we just got an official diagnosis for Jonah. He has autism. So
Oh.
one of the things we saw some red flags, and he's a preemie and stuff. So, and one of his donor siblings has autism.
Oh.
So it's kind of in the genetics. But one of the things we had to talk about was, do we want the same donor? Now
Right.
that's a big
Oh.
question. Like,
So what?
okay, well, why didn't you choose the same donor? Because it was like you're neurodivergent and like you don't
Yeah.
want.
Well, and we talked about that. I was like, I don't ever want him to grow up thinking that we would have changed him
Yeah.
That's
if
so
we had the
hard.
choice.
What a tough
Because,
decision.
Yeah.
well,
Wait, I'm confused. Did you use the same donor or you did not?
Yes,
We
we
did.
You did.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we bought him out.
Yeah, so he's officially retired from the program. So we got the last vials that were available,
Oh,
but
wow, good.
it was a very quick decision for us to be like, yes, absolutely,
Yeah,
we're going to try.
Because how
for the
would
same
you
donor.
explain it to Jonah like that?
Right.
Yeah,
That's exactly correct.
without saying something was wrong.
And
Mm.
ASD is so random and sporadic as far as like how you present, and
Mhm.
it's just neurodivergence. It's not like there's anything wrong with him. It's
Yeah.
we have to adjust how we teach him and introduce him to the world. He's a beautiful child and has he experiences things in a different way, and I
Yeah.
love having the ability or the chance to step back and learn from him.
That's right.
Because
Aw.
It's a whole
We just
different
have to be
thing.
patient.
Like it's it's interesting because it is such a bittersweet thing because it's beautiful to watch him and like he's not talking, but when he does talk, we're like the whole it's like you could hear a pin drop because
Mhm.
Angela and I just want to like
Yeah.
celebrate
Yeah.
and throw confetti,
yeah.
you know.
Oh.
But at the same time, he's not meeting milestones. So it's very hard for you as a parent not to compare yourself to other
Yeah.
kids that are walking and talking and yelling at their parents, you know. So there is a beauty behind it of like, you
Yeah.
know, him not talking back to us or whatever. But at the same time, we have to be very aware and
Of his nonverbals. Because he still
Exactly.
communicates really well with us.
Mm.
yeah.
But
So it is just a totally different ballgame.
yeah.
Like, I mean, in a good way, like it has taught me so much to be patient with myself, be patient with other people, to
Mhm.
just slow down
Mm.
because sometimes people just need a little bit. And, you know, people with autism, there's such a spectrum. And right now is like, what do they say? Like a couple years ago, I'm going to say more than 5 years ago, it was like 1 in 100 kids are diagnosed. Now it's like 1 in 30.
So much more
So
common.
it's
Is
not
it
rare.
really?
It's like
Is
1 in
that
40.
true?
I
Yeah.
don't know. I have to look.
But it's because they're diagnosing more
Yeah.
like
Well,
you
and
know,
because
yeah,
the spectrum
girls
is
mask
so
really well
is
too.
so
that too.
varied
Mhm.
that you know that many people probably weren't diagnosed, like you said, girls mask, you know,
Yes.
and so
Mhm.
that makes
Well,
sense.
they just present differently.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
we
And
know so
like
much more about it.
neurodivergence isn't just autism spectrum disorder;
Right.
it's also ADHD
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you know things like that. So-
Dyslexia. Yep.
Did you know
Yeah,
that
so-
March is Neurodivergent Month? Neurodivergence Month?
No, but I have seen a lot of people posting on our Facebook groups of like, I'm getting this T-shirt with puzzle pieces for my kid and blah blah blah. We're not.
We're not puzzle piece people. 'cause
What is
we
it?
don't-
What's
Yeah.
a
he's
puzzle
missing-
piece people?
Well, so the puzzle piece is like the official brand or thing
Logo.
mascot of
Mhm.
Autism Speaks, and Autism
Uh-huh.
Speaks. They're kind of the meaning behind it is that people with autism have like a missing piece.
Mm.
Oh.
And that
That
is
is
so
so
not,
not
true.
true.
Yeah.
And
They
It's
just
brain
yeah.
works
and
differently.
if you actually read
Exactly.
and do some research and talk to other people that are actually autistic and have a diagnosis,
Yeah.
you know, like Temple Grandin, obviously
Mhm.
she's
Mhm.
famous, she's changed the industry. I've been reading some of her books as well.
Mhm.
And she's talking about how these are going to be our engineers. These are going to be the people that
Right.
build our future.
Oh my
You
god, I
know,
just
so
got
it's very-
goosebumps.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got like
Kind of, right?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
know.
If you're, and
Yeah.
especially if you're intentional with raising them
Yes.
you guys are being so intentional to make sure that you're learning from him.
Yes.
And being gentle parenting
Yes.
and allowing that because, you know,
Yeah.
there's things like ABA therapy that these
So
like Temple
harmful.
Grandin that they support. And, you know, we did one
Yeah.
appointment. It did not go well.
No.
She
Is
didn't
that
even
the
last
one where
20
you're like
minutes.
redirecting? Is that the
Yeah, it's like,
like-
gay conversion
It's
therapy
like-
for
We
autistic
talked to
people.
another
We
couple
did. We
who
did have an
talked
episode,
about the
yeah.
same thing that what you're saying.
because it's about teaching them social cues, but it's
That's
they're,
what they
they're
say.
just teaching them like
Compliance.
scripts,
Yes.
like a
yeah,
script.
Yeah.
Like when someone
That's
says this,
so-
you say this.
You want to train a dog and you give them treats,
Right.
you know,
When
and
they
you
do
tell
what
them to
you want.
sit. That's kind of like the same thing, except, you know, you
This
want
is
them
a
to do
human.
something
Right.
neurally.
Neurotypical.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It
So-
was not.
And it's like,
Pleasant to
well,
watch.
he's not pointing his finger. That's a red flag. He's stepping on his toes. That's a red flag. He doesn't bring you over to something to go say, hey, mom, can you check this out with me? And I'm like, no, because he climbs up the fucking chair and gets it himself
Yeah.
because he's
Because he's
self-sufficient.
Right.
got this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Big tangent, but yeah.
No, but it seems it's
Yeah.
not a tangent though.
No,
It's like this
no.
is, you know, but it seems like that's from what we've heard before, and we are by no means experts on this. Like, just let me say
Neither
that.
are
out.
we.
But
And
it
we've
does
been
seem
in
like-
it for 3 months.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that there isn't a lot of other paths. It seems like it's that or
Well, there's other stuff. What was it?
Yeah. So
Play-
there's this thing called the Play Project, which was developed out of, I think it was Eastern Michigan University. And it's
That's my
basically
alma
using-
mater.
Yeah. Or Ann Arbor, University of Michigan,
Michigan.
somewhere over there in the Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor area. But it's more about using play to teach
Mhm,
and to listen to what their cues are and to help
Mhm.
redirect in a playful way. Whereas with ABA, it's you withhold
Mm.
like gratitude or you withhold reward until they do what you want. And
Oh.
to me,
And you do it
simplified,
in a
it's
certain amount of
compliance.
things.
Yeah.
So he has to do it 10 times. I'm like, well, he just did it 3 times for you.
Right.
He's not like a trained monkey, you
Yeah.
know, like Yeah. He's 2.5.
Yeah.
He's going to do what he
Oh.
wants.
It seems
So-
in our very limited view of it, it's compliance training. And the whole time he was in a very agitated, distraught state of
Mhm.
mind. And when he did the thing and he was rewarded, he was still in a distraught state of
Mm.
Because he had
mind.
to do it 10
And so-
times.
And even when he did the first time, he was still distraught. And so to me, I would see, like, I feel like he would learn that how he feels doesn't matter
Right.
as long as he
Oh, that's
complies. And
heartbreaking.
what he thinks or what he wants to say, his voice doesn't matter as long as he
Mm.
complies.
And it was so interesting because we had 3 doctors in the room. And of course, this is children. So teaching isn't very important, which is fine with us. But it's in a tiny ass room.
Yeah.
You got how
Mhm.
many adults and one kid?
Yeah.
I'm sure he felt overwhelmed. I would have,
Yeah.
and I'm not.
And everybody's
autistic.
just focused on
Then the
him.
doctor tells me, and she's like, well, you just got to learn how to get, basically in a nice way, learn how to get comfortable seeing your kid uncomfortable. I was like, ugh,
No,
hold the phone for a
thank
second,
you.
okay? My son was born at 30 weeks, 2.5 pounds.
Mhm.
But I mean, he still has scars from where they
Oh.
put in like
IVs and
needles that they
stuff.
needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets his blood drawn every 4 months. He's probably going to go on growth hormones. So he has, a good shot at life or whatever.
Which will be a
So
shot every
don't
day.
don't talk to me about
Yeah. Seeing him
being, like,
uncomfortable.
my kid being uncomfortable because we have had nothing but uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I said he's 2.5. I didn't have a childhood. I want him to be a kid
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless of who he is, he's Jonah.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, if now ABA might work for some people for, if that's what they need, if
Yeah.
their child needs that. For us, it just didn't feel right because we have the time and the ability to try something.
You mean I have the
different.
time and
Yes,
ability?
okay. He is the stay-at-home parent.
Oh my God, you
That's
got to
just
be a
my
Patreon
ability.
supporter to see Jess's face right there at that moment when she said, "You mean I have the time?"
She has claimed the title of primary parent
Yeah.
for
She
sure.
doesn't question me when she was like, "What is this liquor bill here?" Never mind.
She's like, "Can I make you
Yeah.
a cocktail?"
I give Jess full credit. She does an amazing job
Yeah.
with him throughout the day.
And so it was a small question in our mind, but we really thought it was more important for him to have a half sibling. And
we could handle it.
if the
regardless.
case that child number 2 has the same thing, then we will know what to do. And
Yeah.
here we are. There was a small part of me, and we did definitely kind of mourn again because you mourn
What you
for
thought
what
it
you
was gonna be.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course you're parent.
Yes,
You're gonna
yes.
you're gonna go through that. I don't know where I was going
Yeah.
with this, but
Well, we definitely were like, we absolutely are going to use the same donor. And because of the increased risk of health issues for Jess, if she was
Yeah.
to develop HELLP syndrome again, like now she goes to a cardiologist yearly just to
Yes.
get
Yeah.
all of that checked because of the HELLP
Oh,
syndrome.
wow.
If I could get pregnant, we were going to try that first.
Yeah.
So we have like so many vials left of this donor. And we actually just had our ultrasound today to confirm
morning. You guys
follicle
have good
size.
timing.
Yeah.
Are they,
This
how
morning
many
because
centimeters we at? We had
of
like 10, 12.
26.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
As Ange says, it's a juicy one.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Got a
I'm
juicy
like,
egg in there.
Please don't make
I don't
comments
feel
like
good about that. I don't feel good
I'm
about that
like,
word. I'm with
Thank
you, Jess.
What?
Robin,
I
I
juicy.
ran to the car. Was like,
I'm
okay,
like
she is
screaming
not
Lizzo
my
in
wife.
head.
Bye.
Juicy egg is dancing in there.
Oh my
But,
God.
So wait, so this is an unmedicated IUI or medicated?
Well, it's
Like, what do you mean? Like,
yeah, I use
fertility drugs?
letrozole
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Femara.
Okay, okay.
Letrozole, Femara.
to help make it even juicier.
Stop it.
And,
Stop saying that.
There's a different word that I'm referring, like, which word I'm
Moist?
talking about when I say, yes. I was
I think
refraining
juice- I
from
think-
Who
saying
said
but
it? Did
okay.
Jamie say it?
No, I didn't say it. I think
Well,
juicy.
Yeah, Jamie said it. It was
Oh.
Jamie.
No, it was not me.
Go get me a beer over
Liars.
there.
It was big and bold.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So tomorrow,
so-
IUI.
yeah,
Second
she
try.
had
Oh.
to, we like ran back to my parents to pick
Oh,
up
God.
Jonah. And then, but first we had to get gas in our car because we were like on E and they're like 25 minutes away from us. So we were like, get the gas, get the kid, get in the car, let's go home. And then she had to shoot me up with Avitrol.
Yeah.
So, so we did that.
That's the trigger shot, right?
Yep.
Is Avitrol?
the
Yeah.
trigger
Yeah.
shot. So tomorrow
And this time I did not hesitate. I was like,
we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
done.
She was so concerned.
Isn't it amazing how easy giving your partner or giving yourself those shots becomes? Like it's just
Becomes.
Becomes.
Yes. Not the first
it's
time.
so scary
I'm
in
like-
the beginning. But now I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
you
Oh my
want
God, I spilled too much Avitrol.
Yeah. She did squirt a little out the
I'm like,
first time. And
I was
Yeah,
like,
you want me to give you
Yeah.
a shot? I got it.
babe,
I've watched
Babe,
enough Grey's
give me a
Anatomy
shot.
to know.
I know how to do it.
Yeah.
I'll give myself a shot anytime. Oh, I'm gonna give a shot? No problem. No problem. Where you putting my butt, my abdomen? I got you. I'm good.
wait, okay. Now we've skipped over something. And I know this from your email. You
What?
talked about insurance and what a hot mess that was.
What
with
happened?
Getting
Oh,
pregnant. So,
Nelly.
What
the
happened?
wrath of Angela. I want to hear about this.
Okay.
Uh-oh,
Okay.
she's
Let
fanning
me
her down.
Jess is fanning her.
prepare. No, so I do all the insurance stuff in our household, and I work for the same hospital that I did when we got Jess pregnant. And so we went through all of the imaging studies for me, like got all the blood tests run and the genetics panel and all that stuff. And I was literally like 2 days away from my period starting and getting ready to do the first
Mhm.
IUI cycle. And I get a call from the insurance
Third party
company, the
insurance.
third party insurance company through my work, and saying that they were denying
No.
approval of covering the IUIs because we had not yet proved that I needed them for infertility.
You got to be kidding me.
No. Well,
You were
I
like, so you
instantly-
guys know how two
Ugh.
women can make a baby together? So let
Let
me
me
know
know,
if you
right?
know that.
Enlighten.
Go ahead.
That was her
Enlighten us.
exact conversation
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the person on the phone. It's
Yeah.
like,
I instantly, like, my blood pressure went
Yep.
up. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I was at a
Turned
base like
another
101 degrees for my
Yeah.
entire body. And then I was like, are you fucking kidding me? But anyway, so I was telling her, this is not for infertility. This is because this is the only way that we can safely get pregnant,
Yes.
you know, and
yeah, we can't go to the corner bar and,
Nah.
just get
Yeah.
drunk and stuff. That's
Right,
not an
yeah.
option.
well, it's
No,
an option,
no.
but not
Could
one
be
we're
an
willing
option
to
for some
pursue.
people. Exactly.
Yeah, no,
It's not your
no shame
option.
on that. That was not our option. But
Yeah.
either way, I was like, can you approve it for use because we're a same sex couple, not because we need it for infertility?
And what
And
happened?
she was like, no, unfortunately, the national standards that all
Mhm.
these insurance companies use changed in 2019. Who was in office then? And
By the way, I didn't know about that.
Wait,
Who
what
was
is
in
that?
office
What did
then?
they
I
Yeah,
change?
you
didn't
have to
either.
have 6 tries before they'll actually cover it.
yeah, so the wording changed for that type of coverage to state that if you are under 35, you need a year's worth of failed tries for a heterosexual couple, or if you are a single woman or a woman in a same-sex relationship, a year's worth of donor insemination fails. Or if you're
That's-
over the
that-
age of
that-
35, then
Change,
6
change,
months.
change.
Yeah.
I just can hear
And I was
the
like,
change.
I was like, that's completely ridiculous
Yeah.
and unfair because if we're talking about financials here, it is not free for us to try. It is
No.
free for people who are in a heterosexual
Heterosexual
relationship
Mhm.
to try to get pregnant for a year, which is great. But we have to,
And by the way, they
Firm.
can just say they tried.
And how
too.
can you
Yes.
track that? How can you prove that?
Exactly.
exactly. And I said, every time we try to get pregnant using donor sperm, it is money out of our
Yeah.
pocket to buy the sperm. It is money for the imaging. It is money for the testing, all these things.
Money for the shipping, money for the
Mhm.
storage. all
Yeah.
of
I
it.
also wonder, like, what if you said, okay, if they allow the straight couples to say that they tried at home, if there's a good faith, because I'm assuming there's no insurance person standing in their bedroom. So they allow
Mhm.
them to say that. What would preclude them from a LGBTQ couple from saying, we used a
We-
known donor friend, we tried
been
at home for
trying.
6 months, it didn't work. Would that
One
count?
year.
Or are you saying, no, it's got to be 6 months, or like
No,
a year?
I
or
don't know.
6 months.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
possible.
It is
but
possible. But
we'd already crossed that bridge because
you-
I was
yeah,
like,
she-
no, this is not okay. And
she did get some very good advice from the billing lady.
yes, her
Let me
name's
tell you-
Mary.
I
Let
love
me
when you
tell-
get the person.
Yeah.
I love
Let
when
me
you get
tell
the
you, we
person.
got her on the phone and she sounded this crotchety old lady, probably in her 90s. And I was like, fuck.
She-
Of course, we get the lady that's probably
We got Helen's
conservative
sister.
Trumpster sitting behind wanting to bill all the gay people. And turns out she's from New York and
Oh.
very progressive.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yay.
she
And she
was.
was like, you need to contact your HR department.
Yeah. Yeah. She said that she sounded old and angry on the phone because she
Yeah.
had already been dealing with some other patients of this same reproductive group having similar issues.
Uh-huh.
Some that were single women
Mhm.
trying to like harvest their eggs
Yeah.
because they wanted
Single-
their careers
Single mom
before
by choice.
and
Mhm.
their
Mhm.
insurances were not covering that. So she said one of them wrote a letter to their HR department and stated, this is what I'm doing and this should be covered and this is why. And so she said, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll call this third party and set up like a physician to physician meeting so that, Dr. Thomas
Mind
or
you,
whatnot
we're
can-
supposed to try like within the week.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
God,
here
the
we're trying to
stress.
like
Yeah.
panically, like trying to get all this stuff done.
Yeah.
And then
so-
you wrote your HR.
Yeah. I wrote HR that night, and I
Which
basically
also, by
was-
the way, you had to spill your personal business to
Right.
to
Exactly.
Dana and HR, which is you know.
yeah, it was
infuriating.
basically just write to HR for you and
Yeah.
blanket, a blanket.
But
person.
here you work for a company and they talk about how they're so inclusive
and
and
progressive in their
LGBT
benefits.
family and stuff.
Yeah.
Right here, folks. We're talking
This is
about
it.
the nitty
Back
gritty.
it up.
The
Back it
things
up.
that
Yep.
couples have to go through
This is where
in
you
the
get to
dark
walk the
spaces
walk.
of HR that you don't talk about.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to
Mhm.
be inclusive, then you need to put
Mhm.
your name on it. And
Yeah.
luckily they did.
Yeah, they actually did it very quickly. And what I said in the email was along the lines of, we tout how
Mhm.
progressive we are as an institution, and we have our name down as one of the more progressive, places for LGBT people to work, and an impressive list of benefits. But somehow this has become more discriminatory than it was in 2018, and that's
Mhm.
not okay.
Mhm.
And please help me to overturn this, because I was literally like a week away from trying. And, this,
Yeah.
it's exactly the same benefits and all of this stuff. And
Yeah,
it-
you covered it in 2018
yes,
for my wife, not even for
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
right. And so
yeah.
I
Figure
had
this
taken
shit
the
out.
next day off. Jess was like, just take
Take the day
Take
off.
tomorrow off
It's so
so
hard
we
to get
can-
her to take a day off. And I'm like, you just
I'm a
need
bit of
to
a
like
workaholic.
you just need to like step away for a second. We need to just be at home, be with Jonah, like hug
Yeah.
our babies.
Yeah.
And we got a call from Mary and she was like,
The next
you
morning.
go, girl. And she was
Yeah.
like,
What?
hi, how you doing? Like, whatever.
What's
She didn't
up?
even know the decision.
Yeah.
And then we went in, got shot up. And then we were like, where's Mary?
yeah.
Mary, are you there in the back? And this little old lady walks out and Ange just like attacked her.
I was like,
was
I have to give you a hug.
Aw.
Yeah, I was like, thank you so much for your advice, and just helping us to get to this point, because it's so important to us, and this is the only way that we can do it. Do the IUI. I
Mhm.
know there's other ways to become parents, but for us, it meant a lot, and we really appreciate that. And she was like, "You're making me cry."
And
Aw.
this is the journey we go through. It's not
Yeah.
just us wanting to start a family. There are other people along the line that help us
Mhm.
make
Yeah.
families. The
Mhm.
little old lady's named Mary
What
in
if
the
you
closet.
hadn't,
Yeah.
you hadn't gotten her on the
Exactly.
phone and you had gotten just like some
Somebody who
stodgy
didn't
person
care.
who wasn't supportive and who was just like, sorry, that's the rule. You would have paid for it
Yeah.
out of pocket.
Exactly.
6 months.
Our whole lives are decisions that can change either way of the
Mhm.
course of whatever.
Of somebody else's life.
Like we
even.
would not even be together if we didn't choose to go to Columbus Pride. And we
Yes.
both decided to go on a whim, and here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the bottom line here is go to your company, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ask them.
HR.
You never know what they'll
Yeah.
say, and they really came through quickly. And
But it's like Robin said, you kind of have to give up your privacy a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's unfortunate.
Mhm.
For me, I'm very private. So feel lucky, ladies, that you have me on a podcast showing
Yeah.
up because
She's so private. She'll put my email address into all of the like company wide, I
oh,
want
I'll
a
fill out the
10% off
survey or
coupon.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm
She'll
like,
put my
I
email.
remember before the first interview, Angela was like, I don't know if Jess is going to do it.
I know.
She's private.
I
She said-
remember
and then she came in and she was like, waka, waka, waka. And we were like, oh, okay, this is not all. I was expecting you to just sit there quietly and be like, yes, what
Yeah.
Angela said.
Yeah.
and then
I
you
just
got the shock of your lives then.
I just figured she'd be pissed at me the whole time.
Anyway, so
This is us.
insurance was
Yeah.
crazy. So and then
insurance was fixed. We were like, yay, get the Femera, got our, our ultrasounds ready. And they were like, okay, you've got a 16 mm follicle.
hey,
Let's have you come back in
Avidrol
like
shot.
3 days.
Mhm.
So we
And-
order it.
And we ordered the shot, and then Friday when we were going in to get like our final follicle size ultrasound, Jess was like, "Why don't you just call them
Call.
and make sure that they can give you a time of when it's going to be delivered?" Because
Oh, yeah.
it just seems like people, at least in our circle or
Well,
in
you know
our
our tech
parameters,
issues. That's our whole life.
Yeah.
It is true. It is true.
it's always good to double check, and
Yes.
we constantly run into cases where you have to
And
double
what
check.
happens?
They
never put in
didn't
the
mark it for
order.
shipping. Yeah,
Oh my
so
God.
we
So
were like,
annoying.
"Excuse me, what?" So
It's a good thing you
Like,
called.
Like, I have a juicy egg in there that needs to drop at the exact
So that was the
moment.
first one.
Yeah,
We
it
got the
wasn't quite
Avidrol
a-
for the second one.
it
I
wasn't
think they were
quite as
like,
juicy, but
I think we're kind of like high profile clients now. Now that they made a mistake the first
we
time.
call enough. So we had to.
Did you get
we
the
did get it
Ovidrel?
on time. We did get it
You
on
did,
time. We
yeah.
got it the next day. Luckily, we didn't have to do the Ovidrel shot until the Sunday evening.
Okay.
But they had to like figure out like how they were going to get it to us either that night if I needed it that night
Mhm.
or like overnight shipping priority the next day. So they overnighted it. But
I mean,
was
it's like planning a wedding
freaking
every month.
serious.
You know what I mean? Like these straight couples, they have no idea. They have no idea. They just
Well,
fuck and that's it.
unless they're going through the same.
I mean, they
process.
just fucking bam.
you know, there was
Yeah,
actually
Great
there were a
job.
couple times. Now I'm remembering back to mine. It's such a blur, but you know, I did so many freaking rounds. I had so many trigger shots. I can't even count the number of trigger shots I did. But there were times when either the order wasn't placed or something happened, and I had to
Right.
go get like their sample at the clinic, and then.
Ugh.
And then they would order it to me, and then I would bring the one, and so I would take the sample
Bring it
and
back
use it.
to
And then when I
replace it.
got the one they had ordered, I would bring it to them so that they had to. So we had
Yep.
to do like a switch off a lot of times. Like it was
a nightmare.
crazy.
That's
It's a
good to know
nightmare.
you can do that though.
Yeah.
My
yeah. And
clinic allowed that, but I don't. Other clinics might be different.
there were some places around the woman who I had spoken with on the phone right before
We
the
were in a
ultrasound
rush to
was like,
find
I'm going to
one.
find something locally and see
Mhm.
if they can deliver, you can pick up. And so she had found one just in case, but I had called her back
Yeah.
and said, okay, we're not doing it until Sunday. So you can overnight it and we'll be fine. So
Yeah.
she's like, oh, that's a good thing.
But still,
This whole conversation, it's like this reminds me of like stress does not help the fertility
No, yeah.
process.
No, it
And
does
so it's
not.
like, it's no wonder, even like, I remember in the beginning of the process thinking, like, well, of course I'm going to get pregnant right away. They put it there, they put it next to the thing, in the thing, or around the thing. And it's like, of course it says
We're
like it's
so
going to happen.
very scientific on this podcast.
I know,
I
we
mean,
are.
yes, I like.
You guys,
sometimes
I-
I'm just impressed.
I could have
with
been a
us.
doctor. I could have been a
Mhm.
doctor, but I chose, I thought I went on another
Just
path.
put the thing
But
next to the
but-
thing, and then it's the
and then-
thing.
it's like it gets so
squirt.
stressful, and when
Mhm,
it gets so stressful, like your chances drop. You know, it's like how many times do you hear a story of someone who, and these are usually like heterosexual couples where they tried, they wanted the baby so much they went the IVF route, and then they accidentally got pregnant after they had the first kid because you know, because they're not so stressed, they already got the baby. But
Yep.
we can't have that accidental thing.
No, no.
And so we just have the stress and
God,
the
if
running around
only.
and swapping Ovidrel, and
I
it's like that's
know.
stressful.
Yeah.
it was.
These are
it
the
was
things
crazy.
people, it's so funny when I educate people, like, you know, mentioning at the playground when I take Jonah and, you know, people ask questions, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
really how to make friends because
Yeah.
they either walk away from you or, you know, they're like
Yeah.
very intrigued and want to know more.
They wanna
I
know.
think
You
there was
just-
one time you were with some other moms and kids at a farm and you were talking about how, well, we just put $5,000 worth of sperm on our credit card.
Yeah. That kind of scared a
She
few
was like-
mamas off.
Yeah. She was like, okay, I guess. that
Yeah,
was the
don't
wrong
stay near that one. I was like, okay, well, I didn't be near you either.
Just
So
getting your snacks.
Oh my god, I love it.
I
But-
think that's like a good way to weed out losers. Is what
I
I'm
think
saying.
so. Yeah, absolutely.
And if you don't want to talk about it, you just refer them to our podcast and our book.
Yeah,
You know what?
absolutely.
Go listen to
I
this.
do.
Go educate
do a lot.
yourself.
Oh, we do. We're constantly.
Thank
yes,
Thank you. We
atta
thank
girl.
you.
advertising and selling from Ohio. I mean, I don't,
Love
you know,
it.
Our
we're-
book publisher's like, there's a big spike in sales in Ohio.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
You are our Ohio ovaries branch.
So wait, so the stressful no Ovidrel insurance, that first one, it just did not work.
It didn't. It didn't. No.
You-
So
but
we
you
got
did get
a
the
negative.
Ovidrel in, and you did the stuff. It just
Yeah.
didn't work.
yeah, we
Yeah.
had a negative. So it's like,
Everything went the
Sorry.
way it was supposed to, as far as, you know, like, you know, got the shot, everything happened.
and I
on
kept
time.
checking in with her, like, how do you feel today? How do you feel
Mhm.
today? And she's like, oh, I feel stretching. And like,
Yeah. So
Mhm.
for me, it was definitely disappointing. But as someone who's very much into like
Yeah.
data
Uh-huh.
because of my job, I was like, okay, I have a baseline now of what my
Right.
body feels like when I have letrozole and an Ovidrel shot. And
Mhm.
I know what it does to my uterus and I know how it feels. So I have the feeling that once I'm actually pregnant, I'm going to feel something different. So
mine was
You
burning
have an
nipples if you were ever
What?
curious.
What?
Yes.
What?
I was driving home from work and the last 3 tries that we had, and then I kept a notepad. You guys should see this because Ange is she's just fucking laughing. But I just had like this, like my nipples were on fire and I was like, I'm pregnant.
This is, you know what's
it was
interesting?
probably because we watched Aquaman and, you know,
No,
Jason
that was
Momoa
before. Yeah.
was
Jason
in it.
Momoa does not do that for me, but
Doesn't
maybe
do
some
that for
other
you?
people.
That's another podcast. That's another. That's
I think many people, but not us.
Yeah,
It's
not,
okay.
not us. I wanted to say though, after all of the times I tried to get pregnant, when I finally the one that worked during my 2-week wait, I remember looking down at my nipples and they had changed.
No.
They were different.
I really wanted to get off the nipples, and I thought we did.
And I said to
Why?
myself-
Why, Robin?
I said to myself, I'm pregnant. But I didn't want to. But I didn't want to believe it. I'm
Yeah, I
pregnant.
know,
But I
right?
wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. But I kept looking at them like, this is new.
All right.
This
Okay.
is different. Robin, I'm not going to show you my nipples. Don't worry.
Please
but
don't,
I
Jamie.
would never, ever.
Please
Oh
don't.
my God.
That's
Special
what
for
they
the
say. It's like a
Patreons.
boob change, like the
Special
boob.
for the Patreons. Bonus content. Jamie's nipples.
Hey,
Yes, but something changed. Just for those of you at home who are looking for those signs, and you Google
Yes.
the crap
total
out of
Google.
pregnancy
yeah,
symptoms
YouTube.
during that 2-week
I was
wait.
all over
Oh
that
yeah,
shit.
you Google the
Oh.
shit out of. So that was my sign. That was the thing
Yeah,
that
that was my sign
showed
too.
me
So
What was
that
that's
your
what I
sign,
told
Robin?
her. Yeah,
Yeah,
Robin.
I didn't have any signs. Like both pregnancies,
got
they were.
pregnant so
I
My wife
felt
fast.
was lucky. She didn't have to carry.
Yeah, I carried both. The Mary didn't have to do it, but they were both times. It felt like I was getting my period, like sore breasts. I mean, it felt like I don't get a big period. It's like not a big deal for me. So maybe it was like more, but I mean, it was just.
So you're
just
one
kinda
of the
regular.
women we hate then, right? Because you
Yeah.
don't have
Basically.
heavy flows. You
But she
got
did-
pregnant quickly.
For the
You
first one.
had an easy delivery.
I mean, I don't know why we have to say hate.
I mean,
Why can't we
No.
just
Okay,
be like?
not
Why
hate,
can't we just be like?
jealous
talk
of.
bad about?
Or no, why can't we just say we aspire to? I feel
Aspire.
like that feels like
There
a
we
better
go.
way to.
That is
let's
a better advertisement.
let's
for it.
You
keep
did have to
liking
travel.
me.
You had to travel all the way down to like South America too.
Yeah,
right?
hi. I had to go to Bogota.
did.
I mean,
She
it's like
did.
it's. I put some time in here.
Yeah,
Come
you
on.
did.
Money
Yeah,
and
yeah.
miles. Mhm.
Money and miles, right? All right.
Right.
So now we're in our second month trying.
Yes.
Yeah, actually,
Tomorrow.
yeah. So tomorrow will be our second IUI, but within the same month. So the first IUI was on March 1st, and
Okay.
I fortunately started my period without having to use medication to induce it because that's
First
one
time
of the
ever.
things that I've had to do
Oh.
up to this point because I have
Oh,
polycystic ovarian
okay.
syndrome. So that has been harder for me to do, but I've been regular because of, using medroxyprogesterone. And this time I didn't have to. So
Yeah, we had a frontliner this time.
well, the front runner who was ready at the first,
The egg.
ultrasound. And today they were like, you have the Oreo look of your uterine lining, which is, I guess,
Good
a
sign.
good thing.
That was the
Yeah.
first time they said that.
Nice and
Oreos
plump.
are always good. Oreos
Yeah.
are always
Oreos.
good.
Agree.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we do the IUI.
Okay.
And so
Yes.
right after Easter is when the 2-week wait will be.
Oh God,
up.
you gotta get
So
through it. You gotta get through it. You just gotta
I
get
know.
through
We
it.
have
Man,
to sing
that's the
about
hardest part.
holidays, but we are prepped for it
It
because
is.
because the last time when you got pregnant, we brought chocolates to the doctors and nurses,
Good job. Good
and
job.
and then
You
she
gotta
got
bribe that
pregnant,
egg
right?
out. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You
Yeah,
gotta
now you're
bribe
bringing
it out.
peeps.
We
Now you're
bring
are
bringing
peeps.
not above bribery. So
Bring Cadbury cream eggs. Those are my
she
favorite.
bought
I
some
love
really
those.
nice
I love those.
chocolates.
I did. So
But so we have just bought some the other day and we have it in our bag ready to take tomorrow with us so we can bribe the doctors to do,
yes.
to make it happen. But
To
Jess
make it
got to
happen.
push the plunger the
I
first
did.
time because
Well,
this is a
like
new
a month
office.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Wow.
was
She can do it
exciting
tomorrow,
to
too.
me. But the doctor that let me do that was actually at the same hospital Jonah was born. She had helped and
Aw.
assisted when he came early. And I was like, Dr. Boo, I
Yeah.
won't say the name,
She
but
was a fellow,
I was
I
like,
think, at that point.
oh my gosh,
Now she's a resident.
this is coming full
Aw.
circle. This is kind
Yeah.
of nice.
Yeah, it was cool. So we were like, there's so many
Aw.
signs, like so many things
And
didn't
then it
work
didn't
out.
work out.
And then
I'm
there were
like,
so many
oh.
signs that it should. So like, come on, universe, like
Yeah, I
make this one work. We
know.
would love like just to get invitations to the party the first time
So here's
around.
another piece too. So one of the donor sibling couples, like we all know each other, not all of us, but a
Mhm.
small group of us. They're like, "Oh, you bought him out. We wanted to try for a sibling." So there's even
Ooh.
more pressure on
that you
Ange
can
to get
give-
pregnant.
Oh, because you want to give
get-
them some of the
Oh,
rest.
Fair.
God.
Yeah, so
gotta
they
get
they got really lucky too because they were given a vial
from the
a
other
different-
couple
yeah,
that we
'cause they were
know.
friends, and they were
Oh.
like, we just have one left. We know you want to try. You're ready. Here, you can have this. And then like our kids would be friends. Would be like siblings, and they got pregnant on the first go. So it was really exciting. So I don't know, like, if they're registered with our sperm bank and can reach out to them to like try to bring the donor out of retirement or not, because they didn't necessarily buy the sperm from the bank. So that's a question further on down the line.
So
Oh, that's
Yeah.
tricky.
there's some content for you. That's
Right.
kind of
That's
hard.
some content.
Right.
Well, you know what you do to make this one work. And I'm sorry, I'm going to gross you out, Robin. I'm so sorry. You need to have.
Okay.
You got to have an
okay.
orgasm right after they do it.
She did. She touched herself.
Did you?
I
Oh
didn't
my-
have enough time.
Body positive. I was like, I am going to get myself up.
Just do
Yes.
it in the office.
Right there
next
at the
time.
on the table. That's what I did. That's the one that worked. That's what I did. I'm not
Well,
kidding.
Jess will be there.
Robin is so
Oh my
uncomfortable.
God, Robin, come on.
We're making babies
So
here.
waspy.
So waspy. Why did this episode turn against me? What happened?
I don't know. I mean, and I'm not saying for all of you at home, I am not an expert on this. I'm just saying that I think that helped my odds.
No, that's a scientific thing that it creates like a suction
It
that
sucked
it
it
helps
in.
draw
Sucked
stuff
it right up.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
there's a better way to say that.
I'm
but
sure that, well, like we said, we are very scientific on this
it
podcast.
does something. It does
And
something.
we give you all the terms, and you go ahead and you take them however you want.
Put
Hoppers.
the thing next to the thing, squirt, and then,
Yeah,
do something to help suck it
and
up.
then switch hoppers if you need to. I mean, and that's the beauty of our families.
Ugh. Well, the beauty of our families and of this podcast is that you now have a lot of people who sending vibes that this works. Like
thank you.
not just us, but a whole
Thanks,
community of
yes.
listeners that are sending vibes your way.
Well, thank you. We are hoping that it happens sometime soon, because there is still the issue of us not being able to use IVF for me because of the BMI limit that is currently set by the anesthesiology department at the hospital where we are a part of that reproductive
Just
group.
because they don't want to put you under?
They say it's unsafe to do elective procedures like that. Yeah, they would want to put me under in order to do an egg retrieval.
Yeah.
And because it's considered elective, even though it's necessary
Yeah.
at that point for infertility reasons. That's their limit. But it's completely bogus and it's completely outdated. And there are some fertility or reproductive offices where that is not a requirement, but it's like in central New York or other places. So
Yeah.
I would,
We're coming to visit.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
either,
right.
Right. That's right.
yeah,
on
right.
down.
So
Well, also, we're not going to need that for you guys. We're not going to need that.
Hopefully
Thank you.
not.
See that?
It's not.
Take
it's
that
not
positive
happening.
energy.
Yeah.
Put it out into the
What's
universe.
Yeah, we're not, and we're not even going to start discussing that because there's
Yeah.
no need for it.
And
It's
then
not
you know
happening.
what? And then you
Yeah.
call Mary. You call Mary
Yeah,
again
right.
and you take her advice. That's
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this has
Oh,
been the
man.
best Where Are They Now ever. I mean,
So
it's
good.
okay that it was our first, really, but it has been the best. I mean, and my face hurts from laughing.
You guys are
We
so
love you two so
fun.
much.
We really love
do.
you.
Just don't title it nipples, okay? Because, I
Burning,
can't
it's
send
gonna,
that
no,
to my
it's,
mom.
I'm going to
Juicy
title it
egg.
Burning Nipples.
Burning nipples.
Hey, burning nipples.
Burning nipples
So
and
you can
juicy
send
eggs.
that to your mom. And
Burning-
juicy, burning nipples and juicy eggs. Now, that's a
She's going to
good
be like,
title.
are you sure you meant to send this to me? I don't want to open it.
Is this spam?
Yeah. This time, I will say, has been different just because we've been able to include my parents in this whole process because they've had
Everybody,
to watch
really.
Jonah
Yeah.
while
Oh,
we get these
right.
procedures done. So it's been nice to not have to keep that a secret and to have some help with that. And he's
Yeah.
really comfortable with them.
And I'm an external processor and she's internal. So of course she's fine with whatever. But me, I was dying inside, not being able to tell anybody.
Yeah.
And
too.
just
I'm the
feeling
same.
like
I'm
I
the same.
couldn't talk to anybody. So
yeah,
it's been
it's been a different experience.
different experience. Yeah.
Well, the
That's
second's
good.
always different for so many reasons because you've got another kid. You've
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
done it, and it's just different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We love you too. Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing, and we're
you.
with you. We are with you.
Thank you.
We love coming on the show.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
Love
Love the
it.
podcast.
Keep coming
Ah.
back.
You're gonna
We
keep,
will.
you're gonna be friends forever.
Yes.
Yay.
Oh, those two.
Angela and Jess. I love them. I love them.
Oh, I'm telling you, my face always hurts after talking to them because they're just so fun and funny.
And open and loving. I just
Right?
thanks for sharing that story with us again.
I love how they keep in touch. Like they're always like, Angela's like, I got an update, and
I
then
know.
like sends an email. Like I love that.
You know,
I just love it.
a lot of you past guests do that, and we do love all those updates. So it's really
true.
it's
It
really
is
wonderful.
true. Well, they're going to have that number 2. We know it's just a matter of time. We
Yes.
can't wait to hear about that. Keep us posted, Angela
Everybody
and Jess.
put that good baby dust out into the air for Angela and Jess. We're
That
all
is
rooting
correct.
for you.
All right, everybody.
All
So
right.
this is it.
Oh,
this
jeez.
is our
jeez.
goodbyes. We're going to say don't forget about the social media, Ovaries Talk on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Mhm.
And again, I'm saying it again. I'm Real Rob Hops on all the social platforms. Come find me there too. So because I'm going to miss you all. And then if these ovaries could talk on YouTube and support the community on patreon.com/ovaries talk, where you get that bonus content.
Yeah, yeah. And this is not goodbye for the podcast. This is just a goodbye for Robin.
That's right.
At this
That
moment.
is correct.
But we'll be back next week. We're coming back at you next week with new stuff. So tune in. It's
Woo.
exciting. And check in on the social because you're gonna
That's right.
hear all about it on the social about what's going on.
And thank you to our sponsors, Modern Fertility. And a huge thank you to all of you Patreons who are already helping us make the show, or even if you did in the past. It has always, always, always been appreciated.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in and being this community. We love you.
Yeah.
And I'll miss you, Robin. This sucks.
I'll miss you too. 5 years.
I mean,
5 years.
we'll be in touch.
We will. All right. We're gonna say it. We're gonna just say it. All right.
All right.
Eggs
Ovaries.
out.
Out, 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 out.
Out.
If these ovaries could talk, they would say.